Hello, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel. I've got exciting and bad news at the same time in this video. So, a few weeks ago in September, end of September, I attended a University Open Day event. So for those of you that do not know, an University Open Day event is whereby you get to go to your prospective unit that you want to attend, and then you're meeting staff, students, everyone from the university. They are selling the university to you in case you want to study with them. So for most of you, you've watched, you've seen, you have read about my IELTS journey, and with everything that is going on in the UK, you would want to have options. And for me, part and parcel of those options is when you get to study. And so when I went to this event, I had a few questions, bearing in mind that I am documenting my journey, my life abroad, my life in the UK, and I didn't want to leave anyone behind. So part and parcel of the questions I'm going to be answering on your behalf in this video, where that can one actually study tertiary education in the UK if they are on a skilled worker visa. If someone has been in the country for 3 years or more, do they become then eligible for home fees if they are to study tertiary education or any other form of education in the country? So I did actually ask those questions without wasting much of your time. Let's get right into it. So let me give you a quick rundown of how you go about it. So you would have picked which university you want to go to, or you want to try, or you want to know more about. So you go on their website online. Some universities do advertise, but some universities do not. So you can actually go on your prospective university website, and then you get to see which events they are holding, depending again on the course that you want to attend. So I did that, I think, around July, because I wanted to check where I would be available. Will I have the time to go with work and family? So in July, I registered online my interest to attend an open day event. You have to register. You can't just turn up, because they do a registered roll call of some sort. So the 27th of September, I did actually attend. And most of you want to know which university I went to. It's the University of Cumbria, because I live in the north and that's the closest to where I live. So it would work out perfectly fine. So I went to the event. When you get there, there will be wardens, there will be people to guide you. So do not be afraid when you see an open day university event. Go and attend and find out for yourself, because I'm going to be answering these questions based on my experience with this university in particular. This is not a true reflection of other universities, but I'm going to be sharing with you my experience with this one. So it might be different. The application or what they told me might be different from what you experience if you go to a different university or if you're in a different place altogether. So you have to have your things in place, the questions that you want to ask, what you want to find out, because you don't want to go to such an important event and then you still come back with questions. So I was prepared, as you know. And part and parcel of the preparation for this event for me started as way back as when I was writing my IELTS. I've been documenting my IELTS journey, and it was quite key. If you're going to study tertiary education in this country and you're not from here, then definitely you would need it. Or if you don't have a first degree, then you have it. But I'm here to answer some of the questions, and then I think I'll make a separate video where I will share with you the course that I want to attend and what I was told when I got there. So they started off with an address from there. I think it's the chancellor, like the head of the university. So they're taking through what they have at the uni: accommodation, finance, courses, expansion, student support, and everything. So you're actually getting the feel of what it would be like if you're going to study with that university in particular, if you were to study in this country. And it was quite an eye-opening experience. Speaking as someone who comes from abroad, someone who has never been to a university, it was an eye-opener. It is an experience that I do feel, if you can, then definitely attending a university is one of the things that you should put on your bucket list. After the address and everything, you would go to your prospective course. You'd be having like a program for the day, so you would be all separated, and then you go to your prospective course. But what I want to get straight into, which I know is of interest for most people, is when I went to speak to the admissions team because I had all these questions that I think even some of you here do have. So I headed over to the admissions team, and my first question to the lady that attended to me was, I told her my circumstances. I'm on a skilled worker visa, and I wanted to find out if I can study full-time a 3-year degree course in the country. Unfortunately, the answer that I got from the lady was that, unfortunately, if I am on a skilled worker visa in the country, I cannot study a full-time course. And there were 2 reasons that they highlighted for me. That it wouldn't work well with it being a full-time course. It wouldn't work well with my working hours and placements and everything else. The second answer that she gave me was that you came to the country to work, so do exactly that. If you are going to be studying, you would need to come off your work visa to study. And I know for most of you, even for me, I knew where it said on our visa conditions, part and parcel of the conditions are that we are allowed to study. But this is the answer that I got from the university. And I think I shared in a post, or if I haven't, probably I was saying it in a different platform altogether, that I think there are changes that are being implemented behind the scenes that may tighten things, or that may change or shift things slightly, even for people that came on a skilled worker visa and they had all these conditions outlined and we may not know. And I'll share with you why. Because part and parcel of the answer that she gave me, she said, well, there is no way that us as a university would risk our license by taking you on or admitting you when we know you're on a skilled worker visa. So there's no way that you can cheat a system like that. And this is the answer that I got from them. These are the conditions that they have, that if one is to study with them full time, they can't study if they're on a skilled worker visa. So that is answered. That is what I got from the uni. I don't know which prospective uni you want to attend. Always find out from them, because I believe these institutions differ, because I've also got feedback from followers and some subscribers on here who have actually started full-time courses. So I'm not speaking on behalf of other institutions. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody. I'm just giving you the answers that I got from this university in particular. So the second question as well that I asked admissions team was to do with financing. If I am to study full-time with them and I've been living in the country for the past 3 years, will I be eligible for home fees? They looked everywhere on the website. Those that are eligible for home fees, according to her and according to the website of the university, were people that are settled in the country or people that are citizens in the country. So no wonder why I've said I think there are changes that are being implemented behind the scenes, that are being communicated to these institutions behind the scenes, and we may not be privileged to know. But I'm not speaking for other institutions. I know a lot of people have gone to study with universities and they're paying home fees. It's always a different experience, a different answer depending on the institution that you have gone to. So with this one in particular, if I were to study with them full time, I'm not settled. I do not have leave to remain. I do not in the country, so definitely I would not be eligible for home fees, even if I've been in the country for 3 years. But there's something that she said as well, lady who was dealing with student finance thing. She said, you know what, I can't find anywhere where it's stating that you can't or you can, but this is the eligibility criteria. So what she advised me to do was apply for the course, and when they admit you into a course, they will look into your circumstances and determine then what form of what you're eligible for or what you pay. So I know that's what I got from this university in particular. You can also check with the university that you want to attend or the prospective university options that you have at your disposal. But this was my experience from this day in particular, from this event and this University of Cumbria Open Day recruitment event that I attended on the 27th of September this year. The other question that I went and asked, that I asked the admissions team was, suppose I came here on a skilled worker visa and I to study in the country, can I then move from a skilled worker visa to a student visa? And the answer that I got was yes. If you have a student visa, you can study a full-time course in the country. And I understand that there's nothing that can stop one from moving from a skilled worker visa to a student visa in this country and study a course. You're already in the country if eligible, and I'll speak on the eligibility criteria as well later on in this video. So all the more reasons why you need to watch this video until the end. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe to this channel, because we continue the journey, we continue to explore options, because there are things that are happening behind the scenes, and like I promised, nobody is going to be left behind on this journey. We want people to know, we want people to be encouraged despite everything that is going on in the world, despite what's happening around us. The diaspora still remains an option, especially if you come from a background like mine. It remains an option. No wonder why I will keep sharing my experiences, my options, and my next steps, because things that are happening, and I'm so excited and I want to share with you. The second question that I asked as well was, if I am to move from being the skilled worker, from being the main applicant in my visa conditions, and I become a dependent under my husband or my spouse or my partner, will I then be eligible to study a full-time course? And I've got good news for you, because yes, it's actually possible. Suppose you are married, or suppose you've got a partner in this country, and then you move and become their dependent, then you can study full-time in any course, any university, and so forth, without any restrictions whatsoever, without them being at the risk of losing their license. So it was an eye-opener, because I know on this channel, on this platform, and everywhere else, there are a lot of dependents who would like to study, who would like to explore what options they have in this country. I can never emphasize the fact that education, career progression are some of the things that will matter going forward, especially now that we know all these changes to visa conditions, visa rules, and indefinitely remain in the country are coming into play. When you have got an education, when you have got a qualification, these are the things that are going to matter. Because I know I've done a video on the proposal, I've done on the proposals, I've done a video on what's on the table and the consultations, and the things are actually pointing at, contributing to the country will matter, whether or not you remain on the 5-year route or you're on the 10-year route. So for those that would have got a qualification and go into those courses that are classed as high contributing sectors, this could matter. No wonder why we are talking education, we are talking career progression, we are talking options here. So it's possible, if you're independent and you're watching this video, or who would like to study, then they can study without any restrictions. Restrictions are around those people that came specifically to work, people that are on a skilled worker visa. Then according to this university and the answers they gave me, they would not risk their license by admitting someone who is already on a work visa, admitting them on a full-time course. So if you are to do a part-time course, I also asked a question, like suppose a master's with the university, will I be able to study? And the answer is, because a master's with these institutions is not entirely full-time, it's classed as part-time study, you actually can. So if you are a holder of a first degree and you want to study at any university, then that's a part-time course and you are eligible to study. When it comes to funding, and are you eligible for home fees, or the best answer is, it's when you get admitted, they will look at your circumstances, they will look at your visa conditions, and then class you rightfully, point you in the right direction as far as whether or not you pay home fees. So that question wasn't clear according to them. The advice they gave me was, apply for a course, get admission, and then they will determine then whether or not you are eligible. Some of you have got this question, and people, I know you'll be asking me, how will they know that I'm on a skilled worker visa? These institutions always check. They've got a way of checking. They take your information and they will check whether or not you're in the country legally, how you came to the country, and what your immigration status is in the country. So you're better off finding out first what you're eligible for, what circumstances allow you to do, before you can say, well, I'll try to drop the system. Another question that I know a lot of you will be asking me would be, do I need IELTS or an English proficiency test? I asked that question, and they have a whole list of countries that are exempt from the IELTS test, but it is a requirement. And I know some of you will ask me, what band score do I need? The answer I got from that lady was, you need a band score 7 across board or above. So it's very, very important that if you're going to be pursuing this route, if you're going to be studying at a university, you need an English proficiency test according to this university. Also, the other question that they asked was about qualifications. I asked whether or not I'll be able to just directly translate my qualifications from back home and get an admission into the university. Part and parcel of their requirements is that you need to have at least 2 A-levels or more for you to be able to study a 3-year degree at a pass C and above. And they do also have a list of countries where they can just directly convert to make sure that you are admitted into the university. Also, on top of your 2 A-levels with a symbol C or more, they also would require you to have your GCSE English and Maths. So if you don't have that, they would also maybe say if you've got functional skills, they can admit you as well. So there's always ways of cross-checking, and they do have a list of countries that they accept your GCSE, your Maths and English qualifications results. For some countries, they do not accept, so you have to do your functional skills, Maths and English before they can admit you in the university. Also, if you don't have IELTS, they do have an option where they do English test with you that is run by the university, but you pay for that. And for this university in particular, I think it was about £100 they said. So if you've got IELTS, you're covered. If you don't have it, you can register for that English program with their uni, and then you pay for it, you do the English thing, and they admit you. And I know one of the questions as well that one might have as a working migrant who is exploring study, whether you're dependent or is on a skilled worker visa, would be what form of learning, what form of study do they have in place? So they do have like the learning, they do have flexible learning, whereby not entirely like in all the way. Again, this depends with the course that you've applied for. So just check what course you want to do. And no wonder why I'm stressing that it's very important that you attend an open day event, get to know the questions, you get to have a feel of what it will be like studying your course and your circumstances and how that would fit in. Because I know for most people, they could be a dependent, but then it doesn't mean they're not working. In this country, you can't just live in the country and not work. So most people would want to still work but study. But they spoke about flexibility and I think I'll share all about that when I share about my course, the course that I picked, the course that I want to pursue, and I'll share with you in detail. But as far as studying full-time, studying a degree university while you are on a skilled worker visa, those were some of the questions that I asked and the answers that I got from the uni in particular. What an eye-opener it was. Very, very eye-opening. But like, we gave up because you've got those answers. At least it gave me a chance to go home and reflect on what options I have at my disposal, what I can do. And believe you me or not, there are still ways and options, and I'll be documenting my next steps on this channel. So all the more reasons why you need to subscribe and put in the comments the question. I will be in the comments answering some of your questions. And if you want me to share a particular video or share on a particular topic around this, just put it in the comments and I will gladly do that video for you. If you've watched this far and you found this very useful, please give us a thumbs up and share with your friends and community our videos, and also do subscribe and encourage them to subscribe, as we're going to be documenting our life in the diaspora. There's so much that's coming with all these changes, with us choosing to be here. There's so much that we can explore together. There's so much that we can teach each other. There's so much that we can learn from each other, and that's the one thing I'm big on: growing together as a community, succeeding together as a community. Because for me, success alone can be lonely at the top, but if we succeed as a community, we become stronger, we grow voices, and we matter even more, because I know we still matter because we contribute. That's all I had for you as far as all these questions I asked and the answers that I got from this university around here, abroad or studying whilst on a skilled worker visa, even when the conditions say you can study whilst skilled worker visas. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.